Hello everybody and welcome to K2SE, Fantastic Mr. Ghost, and also welcome to Hub 2.0. It is here, it is done, it took me hours. Now I had this done before I went to Cornetto, and in between cuts there on the last episode I was like searching for a planet, and as I presented last episode that the planet I was like, oh, this is a good one. Beryllium's all over the place, and it's a big planet. The frickin' thing had no water. And I need water, and for power, now you can do the condenser steam turbines, but I have to test that out first and get a build going of it, and then kind of iron it out. And so that will come, but I'm not worried about it right now. What I'm trying to do, the way I'm looking at it, like I said last episode, is that I'm just trying to, you know, get to the next level here, get some research out of the way, get better stuff, be able to build up in space better and all that. Factorio is well, the overhaul mods are more geared towards build, tear down, rebuild. It's very difficult to retrofit some things. Not everything is difficult. Now, there's one thing that we can very easily retrofit now with the beryllium plate, and I'll go over that in a second, but look at this! Planetary defense! Check it out, man. I've got, let's turn off this useless crap here. I've got a yellow border around some concrete. Be careful, don't go over there. You might explode your face off. So there you go. It's nicer that way. And, oh! Yes, a supply rocket! So this thing is set up to, when you're in this navigate satellite view here, I can activate the combinator, and I could put in anything in here. Let's say I ran, like on Cornetto, I ran out of speed modules, beacons, red belt, efficiency modules. So, because I didn't account for the miners and beacons. I was like, ah, crap. So this is what this exists for here. So you set this up for whatever you want, and then as it's loaded in, well, the combinator is a positive value. And what it does is it sets the requests here. You have to have a red or green wire connected to your logistics request chest. And then this feature is available, set requests. So let's say I have 100 speed modules. What it'll do is it'll set a request for 100 speed modules. And then it also sets this filter inserter, stack filter inserter, to that item. Now, if you can have, you know, as many items as the combinator has. And if you need, well, hopefully you don't need that many, but if you do need a lot, you just wait for it to load one item and then you delete it or clear it and put a new item in. Because this can only handle 4 at a time. And then you have this thing with 20, I think it is, 20 rows. So, you know, let's say you got 6 items or whatever, you know, you just set them all up, and then this thing will cycle through them. And the requests will pop in and the bots will bring the stuff, and then the inserter will eventually it'll stop. So this arithmetic combinator here is negating what's in the rocket. And then also, well, it's taking the rocket contents, negating them, and subtracting henceforth from the combinator, the constant combinator, which is a positive number always. I think you could do negative numbers on those. And then set filters does its thing. As long as the number is above 0, the set request will work and the combinator or the inserter will work. So I requested beacons, speed modules, whatever I needed. So this is the supply rocket for when I'm out and about on other planets. Very cool. So I got all that set up there. And unfortunately, well, the way I did it here is it's one way in, you know, one way out. So the trains will come in from here and they leave here. So it's no big deal. It's a small base. All right. So over here, I have all the concrete and the wood that, anything that needs water, I kind of crammed over here. And it works okay. I got a nice little concrete design here. I got the sand, and then the requesters are here for all 3 outputs for concrete here. And I have these set to 1,000. If I wanted to get 1,000 per case, I'd have to use a red wire. But I'm okay with it being the way it is, because once this one depletes, this one will kick on, you know. So that's okay. And then I've got the refined concrete. I got the water stuff here, which I can top off. And then I got the Factorio concrete here. I ripped up the starter base. It's gone. And the hub 1.0 is gone. everything is consolidated here. I'll talk about the science in a minute. This is all of the intermediates that we need for the hub. I figured I'm bringing in raw resources, so I might as well build it here. I can get full prod as opposed to training all this crap in. Let's just build it on site. And I've got all this room over here that I can do, you know, more. The limiting factor is how many trains you can pull in here at a time, you know, so it gets kind of tricky. So I got all the belt and the inserters and pipes and everything. What I did is I went by tab and then knocked out everything here in this tab. Then I went to production and knocked out as whatever I could here. And then anything under military equipment and combat, I did that over here. So it's all good. And then I got the speed modules up here. I don't need much in the way of speed modules. You know, what I do is I just kind of start, when I have a project, I start to build it and, you know, put it all together and this thing will run. Now, when we get to the speed module, or, well, module 4s and up, I'll outpost the modules because then it starts to get a little crazy and you're going to need more and more. So I think it's, I don't know what, we do have access to these new ones here. This is that's 50%. And this one is 25. Oh, no. 10. So this is equal to the vanilla module right here. Now, we need the Vitamelange and machine learning data, which is kind of interesting. So the machine learning data is done up in space. So that means I have to have a rocket return down in order to build these because I'm not, I mean, I suppose I could build them in space, but I need them on the planet so I could build and stuff, you know, because I like the theorycraft builds down here. Now, there is an instance where we'll be building up in space more, you know, so we'll have to see how that goes. Now, this one needs the holmium and iridium for the speed module one, so we don't have any of that. So iridium, holmium, and then this Vitamelange extract. I don't know if this was added in because I remember Dashington, man, this was a big pain in the butt, man. I was looking at what he was doing. I'm like, oh God, I'm not looking forward to that. But anyway, this stuff here, what I'll most likely have to do is shoot rockets over here and do the modules on ground, I guess. It's 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. Machine learning data and Vitamelange down. The plate's easy. You just plop, you know, do ingots and bring them here. So it'll be an interesting logistical challenge. Now, eventually we do get to put trains in. It's a space elevator. Right now it's tough, but I'm thinking about putting energy science first because then we get the space trains. But I'm okay with doing belts in space, and because there's, I think, stuff that is under the astrometrics that is more important right now for our rocket survivability and all that. So we'll stick with that for now. I don't want to jump off one science right now. So everything is done here, and check it out. Look how symmetrical it is. Look at how symmetrical this is. It's beautiful. I got my PAX train here. And if I decide to change trains, I can fuel it up. You know, just a regular train, not a nuclear-powered train. Got my little shelter here and all that. So it's all good. And then, oh, here's the lube and nitric acid over here. Kind of a cool design. I like it. I think, oh, and then over here, I've got the life support. So if I have like a weird build like this, similar to modules and all this, I'll just take a block from substation to substation, and I will, oh, it delivered to me. I'll pop it inside a square, I guess you could say, in between 4 substations. I'll just slap a build down. Now, we can't use these crushers up in space. This is a Factorio 2 thing. So I'm just taking the scrap that comes out of this and crushing it, and it goes bye-bye. Now, we can't use these in space, so we do have to do the recyclers and get the ore back and smelt the ore and all that crap. So, unfortunately, there's no way to get rid of it. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to balance it out up in space, you know. But right now, the rare metals, well, the rare metals are pretty good for, they're used for the ion stream, which is needed for fuel for the spaceship. So, eventually, that'll get chewed up. So, that'll be nice. Oh, and then this stuff, oh my God. I've got these things, and I went out and killed some biters with them. Oh, so much fun. We'll have to do this on screen one of these days. But I hadn't fed these in just to kind of have a little fun with them. But eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to have there's a uranium planet that has uranium core seams. And I'm going to, I think it has water and oil, so I could do sulfuric acid. That's all you need to mine it. And then processing to the U-235 and 238 will be a snap. And then what I'll do is I can do explosives on that planet because most likely we'll get core fragments, and we can do iron, copper, coal. And then I'll use electric furnaces probably. I won't use the coal for the... I don't want to use... Well, it depends. If there's no biters, then... well, the good thing is you have a reason to consume the coal, and it's fuel for the furnaces. So if you use the steel furnaces, you at least have a use for it. But you need the coal for explosives too, and then we can use those the cannons, the supply cannons over here, which I concreted, by the way. Oh wow, this is running. What are you doing? Uh-oh, what's going on here? Oh shit, what the hell's going on here? Oh, it's got steel in here. Oh, we got a problem. I'll have to go fix that. You know what? I was wondering, my beryllium plate kind of was slowing down a little bit. I'm like, oh boy, I gotta go fix that. I'll do that in a minute. Anyway, uh-oh, what are you doing? Oh, it's sending that. All right, so, yeah, so I got this stuff here for clearing biters on other planets, you know, because when we get there might be biters. So I'll bring this crap with me and load it up in the rocket. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, let's go over here. So over here, I don't know if I'm going to label these anymore. I might have to just use a code like A or something, because only this one here is going to Cornetto. These are just kind of, if I need this crap, I can set it up to, you know, blow it off to me. And I can make copper, iron, and brick. It's just easier to pull it from here. And then I'm always carrying now with me this delivery cannon chest, so I can shoot these off to any location that I'm at, which is nice. And steel, let's see here. I might want to set up another one for steel. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I got an extra one here. I thought I was going to shoot something to... Oh, I was thinking I was shooting to another planet. Yeah, the waterless planet that I found out it was waterless after a while. Okay, so starter base is gone, and my friend is still hanging around over here. And what I'm going to do is repurpose this area to do a blue belt of green circuits, maybe 2, I don't know. And then red circuits, a red belt. And then blue circuits, I'm not sure if I'm probably going to do like a small amount, because we don't really need a lot for science. And we need it for building here on this planet and up in space more, because a lot of the stuff up in space requires a lot of blue circuits, or, you know, it requires the blue circuits, not anything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load these circuits up on rockets, because K2 added that optimization card, and I was talking about this a couple episodes ago, and this one here. So we've got this optimization tech card here, and let's see here. Yeah, and this something just shot off. This one does not return the junk data cards when they're made or when they're consumed in the labs, I think is how it is. Yeah, it's the labs. So the problem is that the machine learning, it takes 3 to 5, which is, oh, I guess it's okay, but we're chewing through red circuits and green circuits like crazy. So that being said, I want to do a rocket per circuit. It's a little overkill on the blue, but, you know, imagine this. One rocket going up a blue circuit's going to be good for a long time. And we're also going to have to build this crap up in space, too. So, you know, there's things we can't build down in Nauvis. We have to build it up in space. So that's what we're going to do there. Oh, and over here, you'll notice I have a lot of crap in this. A lot of circuits. I have the silo and all that. So what I'm going to do is repurpose where the smelters were, and we're going to build it here. I'm going to do a T, and then I'm going to do red, green, military, blue, and the yellow. It's all going to go here. And I'm going to load all the circuits in one rocket, and if any one of these goes 0, it'll trigger a green signal, and then we'll send the rocket up. Because it's too difficult to try and figure out, well, okay, let's make sure the rocket is completely full without whatever. So let's just send the rocket, get the science done. It's, you know, you kind of have to back up and go, it's a game, so just have a little fun, keep it simple. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And then up here, I redid the motor build, and again, we don't need a lot of motors. So what I'm gonna do probably is have a multi-purpose or general purpose rocket to send up for the hub. and some other bits and bobs. But the problem is if any one thing goes 0, now you're setting up a rocket, and you might have like one item in there. So it's kind of tough. But once we get to spaceships, and we get the the space elevator, then all this becomes a non-issue. You know, the cargo rockets kind of go. Well, the cargo rockets you won't need them from planet surface to orbit. So at that point, what you could do is you could bring stuff from planet surface to orbit, and then via train, and then you have spaceships delivering your products around. You can automate the spaceships to go to a planet surface or an orbit, and they all have their unique code that you program into the combinator, and it'll just go there. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. So this is just a little baby motor build just to handle, well, it's more than just science. So it'll be science. It can handle science plus any building that we're going to do up in space. And here is the landing pad site. I kind of wish I did a 2-lane, but this isn't going to be very high volume, so I'm not too worried about this. Now, one of the things I had to do here was I had to put in a filter. It takes the, in this case, Mersite crystals, multiplies by 1, outputs the Mersite, because the LTN combinator, it sensed this stuff here, the capsule and the cargo sections. And what happened was a train came here, an LTN train came here to pick up the rocket sections from this pad, and it loaded up with Immersium crystals. I'm like, gosh darn it. So what I had to do is I had to signal filter that so it doesn't confuse the trains. Well, the trains were doing what they were told. This thing, you just need to do a little more extra work. So up here is where the pickup is for the rocket sections and the space capsules. So that's done there. Now, let's see here. I'm going to go to the, I'm going to fix this steel train, and we're going to go up to, oh, one more thing that I want to talk about here. I have to update this, the rough data substrate, I think it's called, whatever this thing is. The rough substrate. I have to redo this because it's kind of outdated. Now, I did pop the beacons and put level 3 prod in here, but the smelting is outdated. Now, I have ingots already being made. I can train them over here, so I could pretty much pull all this crap out of here. That's iron-based. And I can leave probably the glass and stuff in here. But, well, you know what I could do? I can put in a beacon, and I can cover 3 and 4 right here. Yeah. So that's 4. And then if you go, that's 3. So if we go here, it'll cover probably these 2 and these 2. So it won't cover everything. But, yeah, I could update this and probably keep it running. But I want to do a rocket here of the substrate because of the fact, because of what I mentioned, that damn optimization card is chewing up all my stuff. And, oh, also this, what I'll probably do is I'll pull the blue circuits out of here. This will come out. And, you know, because I want to do the blue circuits over in the, that new area. Oh, shit. All right. Now that we have beryllium, I'm going to set this up for beryllium ingots. There we go. And then we're going to pull these babies out. Now, get out of there. There's a new recipe that a recipe that we have here, which well, it's a new recipe. It adds beryllium plate to this recipe that we have set here. So simply put, all we got to do is change this recipe. And then I bring the beryllium plate down here, long arm the inserter into these, and then we'll double our output, which is awesome. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, here we go. I got this set up here. I had to bring the power over. And all we got to do, this is set to 2000. Oof. Okay, I think what I'll do, I'll set this to 2100. Yeah, no. Oops, not that. There we go. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. We got 2100, 2000. That's right. 32. Beryllium plate, or ingots. What's going on? Why aren't you picking up here? The wire's connected. Oh. Oh, I didn't connect the wire there. Oh, you know what I could do? Check it out. We're in this mode now. And we can go here and here. And blippity blop. Ha! Ha! Ah! Sucker! I think. Let's see. Come on. It should be, yeah, it's reflecting it now. We got 100,331. Provide. There we go. Now we got it. All right, when this train comes in, we'll see how this goes. Oh, and then I got to set the recipes. But I wanted to get this stuff here first. There she blows! Unload, baby. Oh, we don't need anything faster than red belt for this, I don't think. And a fast inserter is good. It's going to spit out 10 at a time pretty quick. It's a 5-second craft on that. I had to underground because of that power pole there. So now, the beacons are in my way. Once this, here we go. All right, let's get the, yeah, so I'm going to switch this. We'll let this craft finish here. And then, bloop. Unfortunately, all this crap goes in my inventory now. So there's the beryllium version. And then we'll just slap, I think I've got heat shielding, yeah. So I'll take that back. And then we'll just go blip, blop, take that back. Or let's take it all. And blip. And blop, take it all. There we go. And then boom, boom. This one, boom, and boom. There we go. I think that'll work. So now we're getting 2 for 1. I don't know. Let's see. This is a 60-second craft. I hope it's not. Oh, it's 30 now. Well, that's interesting. I'm glad I looked at that. So it's 44114. 4. Oh. 4 low density. 4 rocket RCUs. 1 heat shielding. So, oh my gosh, that sucks because so it increased the time, but your materials are the same. So I guess I'm okay with that. And yeah, adding the plate. So, and then we get prod in this too. So that's kind of nice. All right, so I think what I'm going to do with this particular situation, because it is the recipe is doubled. I haven't really had much of a problem right now. Well, when you're in production mode, you know, that's when the problems start showing up. But you have to have consistent production to find the little bottlenecks and whatnot. But, yeah, I think that I'm going to scale this up. I'm going to double it, most likely. Now, I was also thinking about having a backup system just in case I ran out of beryllium, or the beryllium, because I got to go back to Cornetto. I'm going to do 282 trains on that planet. I'm just going to break down and do it because, and the issue is that what I have to do is redo all the stops, the pickup stops, and have a case. Well, it's just basically 1 case to 8 cars instead of 1. It's not that bad, but the length of the train is going to change the stops, so I'm going to have to redo all that. I'm not worried about it. And then I have to redo the, you know, the input yard for it. And LTN, I want to use LTN for that. Well, I could use TSM for that planet. Because what I can do is have the trains, they'll leave, they could sit in the yard full, and then they unload right away, and then they will take off to fill up and come back and wait. You know, I don't know. I could figure something out. But yeah, I think TSM might work better for that because I'm going to have more than 1 mining outpost, and I'm going to have like 4 or 5. I think it'd be like 5 trains. I think, and it'll be a yard that's waiting to unload. So it'll be 4 in, 1 out. So 5, I guess, because that's what I did on Astus. And I could do, if I did, I can't do point-to-point trains because those patches are so freaking crap, you know. Let's talk about the project for today here. I'm going to go up to, oh, this ran here. Check it out. It's running. Now, I'm having a problem with water, I think. No, that's going fine now. Yeah, I think it took a while for this to, yeah, look, the waters. I have to work on the water amount. I might have to kick that up a bunch to get this to work more, because it's not sending enough water here. And I think I had some starve outs, but we got the blue, a little bit under a blue belt because this is supposed to be 10.005 machines, of course. I could probably take the efficiency out and put a speed and then get that, get this last machine to work faster. But yeah, there we go. Freaking blue belt, baby. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I want to do with the beryllium plate, you know, the ingots on Cornetto. This is what I want to do right here. And I was like, you know, do I have I don't really have a huge amount of demand for that right now. Even with the science, it's not much, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, let's talk about the what we're going to do today here. I'm going to go up to Nauvis orbit. I got to rip this out, and then I'm going to move the solar up. And I want this whole area here basically for the hub, maybe down here or something like that. I might start from top down, and I'll have bots take care of this crap. Now, the issue is, though, I want to build here down, straight down. So I'll have these, you know, pads here. So it'll be like red circuits, green circuits, blue circuits, ingots, you know, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't know how wide this is going to be. That's the problem. But I've got this much space here, from here to here, for landing pads. And, you know, K2 adds a lot of complexity to the mod. It kind of pushes everything out a little bit. If you do space exploration only, I think it's a little easier, which is fine. I don't mind it. But, you know, I have to do belts. So I have to do landing pads and belts out of. And I don't mind, because it's fun to work with the belts, I think. So I'm going to do a kind of a wide... my plan here is I'm going to do a landing pad, and it's going to be off center here, maybe like this here. And that way I've got, I mean, I could do more platforms and all that, but if I don't have to, great. And then what I'll do is if I need to do some kind of minor adjustments, I can, you know, pop in an inserter, and I've got room here. So inserter belt, you know, whatever belt. And like I said, I could build more platforms if I need more space around these. So it'll be like this. I'll pop one down. Now, this is a placeholder. And then I'll go here. And I want, well, I don't know. It's going to take up too much space if I do this. This was my original idea. That's why I did this. But because I'm wanting to do a science rocket, you know, have the product, you know, have the tech cards on a, you know, coming up all at once in one rocket, and then I'm going to bring them all down on a belt. You know, so I'm going to do a side load and combine. It's going to be 2, 2, and 1. The rocket data is going to be on one belt, and then I'm going to do red, green, and then blue and military on, you know, one belt, half, you know, side loaded. So it'll be half belts for those. So my thing is, because I'm planning for more stuff, you know, rough data, you know, red circuits, blue circuits, I'm going to have all these landing pads here like this. So let's see how far we can go. I can go all the way to here. Holy cripes. That's pretty far. So I can have all these landing pads like this. Now, I don't know how many I'm going to need. I can go a couple more here. There we go. Let's see how far that goes. I can go one more, I think. We'll go here. Now, my plan isn't to go... when we get the trains and stuff, it'll get a lot easier, because then we'll bring this stuff up via train. So let's see how many this is here. Copy. Like that. That's 26 parts. And some of the stuff I'll share, you know. But this is kind of like the max. This is the crazy amount. But I don't mind. I don't mind shooting off rockets. It's fun as hell. So it's pretty cool. So I'm going to... what I'll do is I'll start from here. Work my way over. Like I said, this is all coming out. And then the hub, I'll put over here. Yeah, I'll start here. Work my way down. And the other thing is I want to do... Oh, maybe that's what I can do. Yeah, I'll have... Yeah. So I'm going to have stack filter inserters off the back here. And then I can have the... what do you call it? It's the storage cases here. Like so. And then I can unload to a certain amount. Just a little bit, you know, for the hub over here. That way I can do the space hub. That's the way I'm going to do it. And then I'll belt out of here however much I need of each item. I'll probably start with a belt, you know, belt of green, belt of red, belt of blue. And then, you know, we got stone. There's things, you know, like stone, you know, I could just combine that with a rocket. So, but right now I just want to get the bus structure kind of figured out, how many things I'm going to need. So we'll go up there and we'll fiddle with that and call it a day. All right, I'll meet you up there. All right, before we go into space, I figured this is bugging me. I have to get this done. I've been kind of procrastinating it. And it's the circuit build for space. And yes, 100,000 green circuits on a rocket. That should suffice us for a while. And whoa! Red circuits, 10,000 so far. These stacked to 200, so that'd be another 100,000. And then we'll have 50,000 blue circuits as soon as I turn this thing on. This is a red belt of red circuits. It is a reality, folks. Look at that. Little gaps because of these stupid inserters here. Don't know how to act. They can only grab 2 at a time. The option that I have is to export out with a mini loader and then it side load onto the the hood will still side load. It will be on the outside of the hood there, so it will work. But I can, let's see, these guys are hanging up a little bit here too. So yeah, if the last ones I had to do mini loaders. On the green circuit build front over here, this is a monster. This green circuit build here is for the rocket, and this one is for the red circuits for the rocket. And what I did here is I repositioned the belt, as you can see, and I'm using mini loaders to side load because our stack inserter bonus isn't high enough. And when the inserter swings back to get material from the machine and comes back out, there's little gaps, and you'll have material still in the machine that should be grabbed out. And the mini loaders are a constant output, which is really nice. And we also get super inserters later in the Factorio 2 mod. So it actually probably will obsolete maybe a little bit on the mini loaders. But I like the mini loaders because it is a faster import onto these machines. And when you're doing overhaul mods, you kind of have to, you know, get overhaul things for mini loaders as well. So over here I have, oh, I trapped our little friend in here. I got him trapped so he can't walk off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk him up here. I'm gonna put him right here up in front. So I'm gonna build walls up so he doesn't get out, and then I'll remove these walls here so hopefully he'll walk up, and I'll try and trap him as I go up, you know, keep him from moving around. So that'll be kind of fun. I'd like to have a little playpen for him, a bigger playpen for him actually, and I'll put a little sign that says our friend. So anyway, the ingots are amazing. I love it. Look at this. I can bring in 2,000 ingots, which is 10,000 copper plate equivalent. Then we got, so I got the unpacking basically right here, and then it's I think 0.7 copper belt, blue belt, and then the stone bricks here. I'm splitting and side loading or loading as I go. I had to do this here with the inserter. It works, but I'd rather do this on every one, but then you won't get the coverage on the beacons, and you can't, it's a 3:2 ratio on the machines, which is a real pain in the rear, to be honest. And then I've got the, oh, this is, I decided to do this internally here. It's a lot easier to bring in the raw materials, I think. This stacks higher, obviously, so I could, if I did this off-site and brought the material in, it'd be better overall, but I figured, well, let's just do it this way for now. Oh, you know, electronic components. And this is a Factorio 2 edition, by the way. So, all the machines are running. It's, I debugged it. I had a little bug here where I didn't realize that this belt was touching this splitter right here. I was like, ah, crap. So I had the electronic components loading on to the green circuit belt, and it went around and it screwed up my this side here, so I had to do a little cleaning. That was funny. I was cracking up like, oh, there it is. It's always exciting when you find the error, you know. So there's that. Pretty cool. And yeah, 18,000 already. Look at this thing. It's just cranking. It's amazing. So with that comes pollution And I went out and I had to clear a couple biters out of here because the pollution cloud is growing. This core mining drill. Oh, one of the things I'm going to do here that I'm noticing, I'm going to do this before I go up in space as well. The coal is really, it really pains me to have to shred this, even though it's free. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the coal and do coal liquefaction here. And the coal can be used for steam power, to do the steam power for the coal liquefaction. Then you feed it coal as well. And water, I think it is water. Yeah, for the steam. And then I can make heavy oil, heavy, light, and gas from this right here. Now, I'm very tempted to take the coal out of here, but I think I've got room, like right here, to do a coal liquefaction build. I can go sideways like this, or up and down, vertical. I can even come down here and do it. And that way, I might be able to, you know, extend this rail over here and then pick up gasoline, heavy oil, and light oil, which light oil is a good, a rocket, you know, great for rocket fuel. So I'm going to do that. All right, let's get this going here. I have these preset. Let's do the sulfuric acid. And, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's get this here going. 25,000 on that. I'm going to cut this belt here, though. I want to wait for this to buffer up because, you know, well, let's just run it. I'll cut it because I want to see how this runs. Now, I don't have a priority set on this belt, but like I said, it's only taken 0.6 or 6 of these machines to run this. And we just need the sulfuric acid there, and we're good. So that's all here. And the rare metals. So let's get that going. Now, rare metals stacked to 100. So that's 4,000. So I think I have it set correctly there. And I think it's under here. Yeah. There it is. Rare metals. Nom nom nom. Delicious rare metals. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't take much to feed the blue circuit, but it takes a lot of the green plus red plus to get the blue is pretty crazy amounts. And I went with 10. And oh, I'm gonna leave. I mentioned I was gonna tear down the other blue circuit. I think I'm gonna leave it for Nauvis building. Well, I have to leave it now because I'm just going direct to rocket. I figured I was gonna train this up, but you know what? Let's just leave this for space. And then the RCUs and all that, when I'm building on Nauvis here and trying to get prepared for other planets, it's already trained up. Let's leave it that way. And then it's less complicated on this front there. Here we go. There we go. Oh, and then I scaled this down to 3. So it's 180 a minute. And yeah, it's far beyond what we need. Far beyond. Which is fine. Now, there could be other things that we're going to need this stuff for in space. So it's nice to have a rocket of something. Now, I could use Nauvis and explosives, the explosive cannons. Go up in orbit, and I can shoot things from Nauvis, or I could shoot things from here. Oh, I can't shoot blue circuits, though. Well, when we get the spaceships doing train-type stuff, that'd be fun. All right, there we go. Very good. So I got 4, 4, and 2 here. And then I got 4, 8, 8 on the beacons. I try my hardest to get as much beacon coverage as I can with one beacon. Power, but I do put the efficiency in, so that does help. If I put speed in, the build would get smaller, but then it's more difficult to feed the thing because you need more frequent train runnings, you know. So how are we doing here? What are you bringing? Oh, and then I got this 8-lane stacker here. And that's because it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, as many as 7 trains coming in here. As you can see, there's 2 zipping. And then I did a 2-lane kind of pickoff, so the green circuits have their own input lanes here for the stone and copper ingots. And then the red circuits and blue circuits have their own lane, because I have a feeling this is not going to be as frequent. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how this came together. I tell you, Pionodons and space exploration are really testing my abilities in Factorio. I feel like I've gotten so much better at the game playing these overhaul mods, so it's really cool. I'm really enjoying it. And I think that's about it. Yeah, so, oh, and then the okay, before I go up in space, I'm going to work on this down here. If I can find it. Here it is. So I went into Hell mod. And, oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, way back, I'm sure somebody yelled at me already about it. I didn't realize that, here, when it comes to the satellite, or the rocket, you click on the satellite, and then you can resolve all the stuff for the satellite. I was like, I'm such an idiot. But it was already done, you know? And here, I think I can do, I don't know if I have it in here. Oh, here we go, yeah. So now we can determine, oh wait, wrong one. We can determine how many RCUs we're gonna need here. So we go 1 there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So now, yeah, see, look, it's taking 2. And that's how I had it. I was pretty close anyway. Originally, I had 2 RCU machines. Now, they were blue machines, they're level 2, and I didn't have full prod, full speed into that. And you can see here that the RCU build that I have for the rockets, you know, the supply rockets and the fuel rocket, it's only taken, you know, less than 2 to do the science. So that's pretty good. I'm all right with that. So yeah, we're looking pretty good here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build this before I go up into space, because I wanted to be able to bus plan and maybe get this, you know, the astrometric science going. If not this episode, next episode. We'll see how it goes. All right, I'm going to get this done here now, and I'll meet you up in space. Ground control to Major Ghost. Chicka chicka boom. Welcome back to space, people. Oh my god. Space is such a pain in the ass. I'd like to turn my bots on, but they're going to bring me stuff, and I don't want them to bring me stuff. Alright, well, I brought all these up at least. There you go. I'll grab a bunch of those. Alright, well, the rip is done. Oh my god, what a pain in the ass. And I got some things over here ready to go. Here is the space hub that I started up. I moved the solar up here, did some platforms, and just got it up and out of the way. So I have like a flat, you know, area I can base off of. I felt so claustrophobic up here. I just hate coming up here. Oh my god. All right, so the problem is that these substations suck for building with these big machines. And someday we'll get these, and this will make life so much easier. But, you know, of course, they gotta, you know, the overhaul mods always gotta, you know, hide the good stuff way in endgame. And by the time you get to endgame, you're bored. You don't want to play anymore. You're so sick and tired of it. So anyway, I got this water here from the water ice. I put full prod and beacon this. I didn't beacon. I got 4 here, 2 here, but I didn't do this one because I figured, well, I'm not gonna waste a beacon on that. And then I got the space pipe going up here, and I have a little bit of life. I got the life support up here, and I brought a crap ton of coal, and that coal is right here. So I've got 13,000 coal. So I came up here, did a rip, and I needed a break from space, so I went back down. And I was trying to think of, so here's a dilemma. Let me go into my spaceship here so I don't waste my life support. So here's a dilemma that I'm kind of fighting, and I think I've kind of gotten over it now. The problem is that if you want to do a space hub where you have all your materials and you can build in space and whatnot, the issue is that I have all these things down on the planet, and I have productivity from start to finish. Up here, I don't want to, well, the issue is I don't want to have to send a rocket up here if something goes 0, and that, because it could be just one item, and I may not need a ton of items, right? So a rocket is sending up here for a stack of electric motors, or, well, let's say big electric motors, because big electric motors and blue circuits, which I'm already going to have up here, are going to be a big thing. So it comes down to the intermediates that that are not science consumed. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to break down, and I'm going to make, like what I'm doing here, I'm just going to make the big electric motors up in space, because we already we'll have copper, iron, and steel up here already. So I might as well just remake what I'm going to need to build the space stuff. And then if I need other things like power poles and whatnot, well, I can bring those up with me, you know, or I can make them here, one of the two. So when it comes to copper cable, I'm not going to get productivity. The copper ingots, though, they do have 64% productivity on them. So you just kind of have to take, you know, just eat the loss, you know. Yeah, and that's the problem I have, because these space pipes are super complex. They take copper wire, glass, plastic, all this. So, and I don't have plastic coming up here. So I have to figure out, I got to get a plastic frickin' rocket going, or I might do a mixed rocket of plastic and coal, and then load it up with half plastic, half coal, because I want to have the ability to get the canisters cleaned, so I don't have to keep worrying about canisters and bringing those up. So whatever canisters I have on me that get consumed, I can leave my bots on, done, let it all go. One thing I wish that I had the ability to do is have a different logistics tab for space and for planet, so I can turn them one on and one off, you know, toggle them. Oh my God, it'd be so nice, because I can't use these belts up here. I'm not gonna, you know, take stuff out and put stuff in every time. That's so stupid. But yeah, it would be nice if somebody had a mod that allowed you to have more than one personal logistic set up here, especially for like this mod, you know. So anyway, I did start the hub, and I ripped everything apart, and I'm looking into a bus structure up here. I've got everything kind of storyboarded for the astrometric science. We can get this up and running as soon as possible. One of my hangups here, though, is that in Hellmod here, when it comes to like the energy science and stuff, I did these separately because the numbers are coming up all whack. I got this one here is at 3 a minute, and then I've got which is the energy science here, and then I have the astrometric science at 2.41 a minute, because it works out that way. Now, I think I had forgotten to select a few things. It might have been the significant data, I don't know. But I redid everything. As you can see, all my tabs are deleted because it's going to be outdated, and I'm done with all the stuff that I was doing anyway. So I'll just redo it as I need it. Hellmod's just a quick and dirty spreadsheet, really, for me, just to get a general idea of what I need to do. And then I debug it and all that stuff later, you know, when it's finally built. So this is the, you know, the Hellmod entry here. I still have 15... Oh, well, I had in the original, I think 5, 5, and 5, kind of rounded up. Well, we were rounding up that. And this one's using the beryllium plate. We get double the production on this. With the beryllium, if it's steel, it's 1. I think it's 1, or I can't remember. But it is double the blank observation frame by adding the beryllium, which is why I was chasing that down. So I have to bring glass up here and for that. And so I don't know. Probably, well, what I was talking about was having a mixed rocket where that rocket is dedicated to a science and what's needed for the science outside of what generally we're going to bring up here. We need circuits for, you know, in mass. We need the, obviously, you know, copper and iron for everything. Sulfur we need. So I'm going to do, we already have a sulfur rocket. So I'm going to bring that up here because we need it for the coolant and all that. So yeah, there's some things that I'm going to bring up that are going to be required by in massive quantities, so it requires I think it's a dedicated rocket is better way to go. And then I'm gonna have a science-based rocket, you know. So for this one here, we're already bringing up beryllium plate. I might as well just shoot up a rocket of the beryllium plate because we're gonna need it for science and we're gonna need it for the plates. I don't know if we need it for anything else. I'm very tempted, actually. No, you know what? I think I'm gonna send up a specific mixed rocket with a little. I'm gonna train the beryllium ingots up here to a rocket launch site, and I'm gonna set up a science landing pad area. So we'll cover what I'll do is I think I mentioned this in the last cut. I'll cover all this stuff that's unique, and then everything here for the energy science that's going to be unique. Like we need the holmium plate, so we'll have a plate. You know, we'll pick up the ingots, bring it to us a rocket, send it up here. And then there, oh, so here we need, yeah, holmium. And we have, I'll be bringing up the copper in mass anyway. There's holmium again. Oh, and I need lithium. I think that lithium is used for the stream. So I might piggyback that onto a rocket. I don't know. We'll see. Here, look, we need rare metals. Isn't that awesome? And these cool machines we'll be using. They're new. Oh, and then we need the multispectral mirror, which is glass. And, oh, I was looking at this. Oh, my God. Uranium-235. Great. So here's the one. This is the coolant. Now, the sulfur, iron, copper ingots, heavy oil, and we also need the chemical gel, which I didn't break out, and I should. We need gasoline. Yeah. And then we got the cosmic water here, which is there, and we need lube. So we need lube, gasoline, heavy oil, and I was thinking of doing a rocket with all three of those divided by 3, and just loading it up with, so whenever something goes 0, we send the rocket. It doesn't matter, right? Now, if I start noticing that, oh, I'm always sending lube, and the rocket's empty with the other 2, being gasoline and all that, then I'll probably just dedicate a rocket to that, you know, because we do, yeah, you can consume a lot of that stuff, especially the lube. I noticed that I was sending a lot of lubrication up because of the cosmic water was getting chewed up so quickly. So anyway, yeah, we'll work on that. Now, I did a thing. As promised, I redid the sciences, and I gotta mention it because, you know, I want to keep the series in a linear, you know, in linear form here. And there it is. Holy crap. Let me go to map view, because then I can move around with the mouse. Because then mouse and this. There we go. So here we go. I've got a 2-lane in. I've got a pack stop here. And I'm using the fork concept here. And I'm okay with it, because it's 4 items, 4 items, 4 items, 4 items, 2. That's a lot of items. 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 things to do the sciences. And it's, you know, if you look at this, this is where we were before. Probably right about from here. Yeah, right from here down to about here. And it was all spread out, and it looked nasty. It was like outdated. So this is the compressed science build now. Get a look at that. And over here, what I have is the data card, the empty data card thing, where the card fits into. There's green science and red are tech cards. And I just supplying what it needs for 60 a second. Actually, it's higher. Helmod factored it, and it's like, well, you need 2.78 machines. Well, all the machines are running 100% of the time, so it's over 1 per second on all the cards. So we got chemical science here. I've got the biomass, the wood for the coke, the gasoline and oxygen. I decided to do the electronic components on site just a little bit easier. I am going to do a build of that. I just haven't gotten around to it, where I'm doing the electronic components on trains. I will do it. It's just so much to do, and it's easier to just do it on site, especially when I only need 1 damn machine for it. So here's the military. That's the little card that fits into the card along with the blank card. I don't understand this. Why do they have this extra piece for everything but the other cards? The military is the one that's different. I don't know if this is a space exploration thing, because the optimization card does the same thing. I don't understand why these other ones don't require a card to a card, you know. Card to a card to a card. I'm okay with them being like this, though. So anyway, here is the rocket tech card. And yeah, a lot of belts. A lot of freaking belts. It was pretty fun to do. It took me a little while to get the sizing and everything. And I decided to go a little bit, you know, I have a lot of wiggle room here, almost too much. And so I wouldn't mind, well, I have to have it has to angle over on these belts here. These are straight down into the build, into this first build here. So what what I'd like to do, if I could, is squish this up a little bit, because I have room, you know, between these here. But it ends up being like this. I got a lot of room here. So I could tighten it up, but I'm okay with it the way it is. Trust me, there's no reason to rip this up and move it. at all. So here we go, 20,000 capacity. Now on this particular thing here for the transmitter receiver, I'm doing signal isolation here using the arithmetics. So I'm multiplying by 1 because the problem I saw when I set up the first science rocket was that it was taking the barrels, and because the barrels were -1 and the negating of that signal made it positive, so that meant the these filter inserters were picking that up. So I have to do signal filtering from the transmitter and then send all the signals I want to the combinators and all that here. So this is the same thing. We're taking the what's in space plus what's in the rocket loaded, and then we're making it negative, and then I have the set points here which are positive, and that's how the inserters know to work or not. So I have it set to 20,000. As you can see, I got 18,000. Well, it's probably a little more now. 18,000 on all these. Now, because we don't know what science we're running, this is one of my pet peeves, is that if we're running, for example, this one right here, I have queued up, we're only going to be using the rocket tech cards. So that means whatever we're consuming, so we're going to send up this rocket when the yellow tech cards run out. Now, I have obviously a lot of tech cards going up on the first run here, 18,000 of each. So eventually, this will be 20 of the rocket tech cards. So yeah, this particular research here, you know, because it's only 18 times at 60 seconds, so it's not going to kill the, you know, it's not going to kill everything. It's just going to consume what's up there a little bit. But when we get to these here, now this is using all but military. So I'm going to send up, you know, 20,000 military, but that military isn't going to be consumed. So the next rocket that goes up, oh, and these are only 16 a pop too. Oh, it goes up though. Yeah, it goes up pretty high. That's fine. How's this one? 16 to 1,000. Okay, fine. That's the rocket 16 all the way up to there. Okay, cool. So it does become a little, you know, significant enough to worry about. So anyway, the point is that we're potentially going to be sending up rockets where it's only one science pack and it's 20,000. Well, that's just what it is. It is what it is. This is the triggering mechanism here. If any one of these goes 0, so rocket tech card 0, send a check mark. If we have anything that should be, yeah, it's equal, greater than or equal to 1, send out the green signal. And then what we do is we select launch on green or when cargo full. So that's how you do that one. That way you know you're getting it to go. And I really, I'm having way too much fun setting up these rocket sites. You know, I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So let's go back here, go out there, get out of here. And, oh yeah, so I have to tear this up. What's going to happen is temporarily, well, I'm going to take these data cards here, and I probably will shove them into a yellow case up here. But in the meantime of me moving them around, well, the other thing too, I'm going to have to move this transmitter. So the rocket's going to completely fill up. I'm not worried about that. It's going to completely fill up, fine, fill it up, and then send it up, and I'll have extra up here, you know. But the rocket isn't set up to trigger till I get everything set up here. So it'll fill up to 20,000, but it won't send until any one of these goes 0. I got all the extra crap in here, the labs and stuff and all that. So over here on the bus side, oh, and the other thing too, I forgot to mention, I'm glad I remembered. I don't know if I mentioned this or not. Forgive me, it's been like 3 days since I last recorded. I have a full rocket of the rough data storage substrate. So I broke down and did that. Like I said, I'm having way too much fun with rockets here. So we got 50,000, and that should keep me going. You know, and like I said, it's instead of fighting with, oh, I have a hard time sending a rocket up that's half empty or whatever. That's why I want to do full rockets, trigger on green, you know, or trigger on when the landing pad is empty. That way, this will only go when needed. And I don't mind. It's space. I figure that's more efficient than doing it where, oh, I have to like, you can calculate every little thing, but you're always going to be off. Like I said, the sciences are going to be they're all different, and the optimization card is chewing up the substrate quicker, and the red circuits and the substrate, the rough, well, actually it's polished at that point, or machine learning, I think it is. The machine learning, eventually, yeah, machine learning, and so it's chewing up the green, the red, the copper plate, and the substrate in massive amounts, because you're not getting the junk data cards back. So whatever research you're running, you don't know. So screw it, you know. Let's just send up full rockets. Now I will be doing specific rockets for each science. We'll get into this in a minute over here. So for example, when it comes to the belt here, this is a part of not only the space science, the belt, but it's also a part of this. The utility science uses the belt. I'll have a rocket maybe for, yes, this is tough because I need the blue circuit rockets, 3 things, right? I need stone, rocket, and these two don't stack worth a crap. You know, it's 50 and 10. And then we've got I already have the processing unit. So it's these 2 items that I need for space science. And then we have electric motor, low density structure, steel, and then here's the lube. And, well, we're going to be using, I think, lube. That's all. Yeah. Now, when we look at this one here, we need the belt, blue circuit. So there's a commonality there. We don't need a tech card for this one. So there's the machine learning. Now, cryonite, we're not going to need in massive amounts. I think it consumes 6. So, what I wanted to do was train the cryonite from the launch pad to another rocket and have that sent up here, as well as the efficiency module 1. But the belt is another issue in itself. So, I'm battling now. Do I send these 3 things up separately in a rocket and then do the belt and then do the stone and the rocket fuel in a rocket, and that's done? Because like I said, I think everything requires space science at this point. But I want to leave the space science in its own thing, that way I'm sending up a rocket that's full, and I can adjust it if I'm off, a little bit. Now, when it comes to this productivity science, or production science, I think it's called here, we got the ingot. Now, I'm already sending the ingot up because we're going to need the iron for other things like the stream, one of the streams. So I would be sending this productivity module 1, the 238, the vulcanite block up. Then the stream is another story. Now that stream is used for the rocket, or for our spaceship fuel, which we'll eventually get into. So I have to determine what I'm going to do with this plasma stream here. And then when we get into this sucker right here, you start looking at this. Well, we got a beryllium ingot. Well, I'm not going to send a full rocket up here. I already decided that. And then if we look further down here, we have glass. So, and we need glass for building up in space here, but we also need it for science. So I'm thinking a full rocket of glass. Just send it up because we're going to need it. And then it maximizes that rocket's usefulness, We'll already have iron and copper. And then when it comes to the fluids, so we have heavy oil, lubrication. We need also gasoline. Here it is. So lube, gas. I was thinking of doing a rocket of 3, like divide it by 3, and then have, it's because it's 10 stacks of each. But the problem is, though, are we going to be sending up? Well, we may need water eventually. We might run out of this water ice. I don't know. By the time we get a little further in the tech tree, maybe we'll be able to get the ice over here via rocket or something, from orbit to orbit. So, well, I'm already sending this over here. These are already sent up. So it's these 3 fluids really right now that I have to worry about. Now we're getting a lot out of that water ice, so I think it'll last for a while. Oh, and then we need coal. So, okay, now I need coal, which stacks to frickin' 50. So do I send a damn rocket of coal up here? Oh my god. So you can see the dilemma here. Now, I'm okay with sending a rocket of coal and, maybe a, the mixed rocket with the gas, lube, and all that. Because if I have a 3rd rocket and it's only like say lubrication and a little bit of the heavy oil and a little bit of the gasoline, that's okay, I guess, because we're trying to maximize the rocket, but I don't want to have if I have a rocket for every item, then now let's say 3 rockets or 5 rockets send up. Now I've got 5 rockets I have to supply parts to, you know, so I'm aware of that too. Anyway, so this is the build. I went through and got all this stuff together here. So I think, I don't know how, I don't think we have enough time to build this in this episode here. I've been so busy trying to get all this crap done, and it's more been I'm trying to upgrade the base and get the base for our next phase here. And I think this is where we're at right now is a good spot. Now we can start to really get these new sciences done and start seeing the cool stuff, getting back into the cool stuff, you know, because it's been kind of dead, and I realize that. But I do want to present everything that this mod has to offer. I think it's kind of fun. I like doing this. So I think we're going to end it here, and I'm going to hop in my little spaceship so I don't die. Or, well, you know, waste. So next episode, I'm going to get the bus structure figured out here. And and like I said, I'm going to try and figure out the, you know, I got a good idea what I want to do with the rockets and stuff on the surface to bring up here. You know, if it's a full rocket of glass, then so be it. Because, like I said, I have to also think about the hub. When we're building up here, I need material, and I don't want to have to send up a rocket, half full, or, you know, 3/4 full, or whatever, a quarter full, just for glass, you know. But there is a cost of doing, you know, things in this mod, so I'll think about it, and then we'll present that. But next episode, we're gonna get on the astrometrics for sure. All right, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.